Anxiety snuck up on me. I've always had trouble talking to people, but it got to the point where I was constantly thinking about how I could get out of social situations. Eventually, I stopped eating lunch in the cafeteria, stopped going to track practice, and even refused to order for myself at restaurants. I thought I was in control, but I didn't notice that my world was getting smaller and smaller, and I was missing out on my life. When I found out I might get kicked off the team for missing so much practice, I decided to try exposure to put an end to my avoidance. It makes sense that avoidance is one of the main symptoms of anxiety. When we're afraid of something, we try to get away from it. This instinct to avoid is rooted in our biology and actually keeps us away from all kinds of dangerous situations. But when you have anxiety, things you need to do or even want to do feel dangerous, even though they're not. And that urge to avoid them can lead to big problems. Exposure is a coping skill that helps stop avoidance, and it taught me how to face my fears. This meant actually seeking out situations where I would have to talk to new people. To start the process, I thought of something that's really difficult for me, but that I wanted to be able to do. Since talking to people I don't know makes me incredibly nervous, going to a party felt pretty much impossible. I came up with things that would be a little bit easier, but would still help me practice facing this kind of fear. My list had things like sitting with new people at lunch, doing a group project with classmates I didn't know well, going back to track practice and talking with my coach about my attendance, and ordering for myself at a restaurant instead of asking someone else to do it for me. Once I had a long list of things to try, I picked one to start with: talking to my coach. This wasn't the easiest thing on my list, but it was one of the most important to me. It felt worth it to have to deal with the anxiety in order to overcome this fear. I'm not gonna lie, I was incredibly anxious when I went back to practice the first time. I was afraid that my coach and my team would be really annoyed with me. The first few practices were tough, but I forced myself to keep going back, and over time, it got easier. After a while, I felt confident enough to try some of the other things on my list, like asking someone to work on a class project with me, and sitting with someone new at lunch. I also started ordering for myself and my family when we went out to eat. Now I look for chances to challenge myself. Next week, I'm going to do the top thing on my list: go to a party. A year ago, I would have laughed if you asked me to try that. But exposure and the other CBT skills have made it feel possible.